Hey everybody, it's Michael from Steelyard, back live from the Steelyard Airstream here with my friends Tammy and Ashley from High Point Market Authority. It is so wonderful to see both of you. How are you?
Great, Michael. It's so good to see you, and seeing the Airstream makes me wish it was market time.
I'm telling you what, I miss the Airstream greatly. I will admit that there's oftentimes I get on Zoom and put the background up just to see the Airstream and sit here alone and reminisce about the times at High Point Market. But
You don't have any teeny martinis behind you somewhere, do you?
I may or may not have a teeny martini. It's only 11 o'clock here in the morning, so we'll say no to that, Tammy. But we are excited to talk to you all about June market, right? So obviously June 5 through 9 for what would be considered spring 2021 High Point market. Super excited about that. And tell us about what's going on. So registration is open, right? We can actually sign up and get ready for June.
Yeah, get registered at highpointmarket.org. Just go to registration tab and you'll see it right there. We're going to start mailing passes, and that's definitely something you're going to want to do in advance. You don't stand in any lines when you get here to market. Get registered in advance. That's very important.
Absolutely, and book travel too, right? So obviously the good hotels go fast, but Lee and his team are in place and ready to go with book and travel.
Yes.
So the concierge is ready. They are ready to take some calls and book some hotel rooms. And he's great about knowing exactly what you need to fit your needs and your team's needs as you come to market. And that's even more important today in our COVID environment. So definitely give Travel Quest a call. They'd love to help you.
Good. All right, so I'm not sure I've ever used this word in my life, but I'm going to use it. I'm jonesing. Jonesing? Is that good? I'm jonesing for a hotel room. I'm jonesing to get on a plane, right? Like I need to travel again. And there's no better place than High Point Market to be the next trip. So we talked a little bit about, in the chat, the three of us had a couple minutes ago, that my first foray into the world, during COVID was October Market. That was really me breaking my bubble. And what you all pulled off with HPMKT Safe, with High Point Market Safe, and everything you had in place was remarkable. So tell us what that means for June. I'd expect we're talking same thing, if not even more, from what you learned. So take us through the safety protocols for June.
Absolutely. June market is going to look a lot like October. The one thing that we will change is that it will not be 9 days. So we will be back to our 5-day periods. And you don't have to choose a time that you're coming to market and let us know that. But everything else is going to basically be business as usual during our COVID environment. We've worked very closely with our county and our state to make sure that we have the protocols in place to keep folks safe. And you're right, Michael, October, it was great. The partnerships that we were able to really pull off and have those safety protocols in place, it was fantastic. But we'll still be doing temperature checks when you arrive. It takes literally 4 seconds to go through and get your wristband for the day. And then we don't ask you again. Once you put that wristband on, you have a color of the day and you're taken care of. And showrooms will observe that. And you'll still see some social distancing. You'll still see more food and beverage outside on the street, all those kinds of things to really make that guest experience a good one, while still being careful and socially distancing.
Absolutely. And I think that's what you did well, right? Was you made it quick and efficient for people. Every day I came and got my temperature check, it was a chance, honestly, to say hello to your team.
Yeah.
Right? Because y'all were there with your smiling faces. We're in and out, get the temperature check, get the bracelet, and we're off with our day. It was certainly not an inconvenience at all. And having that bracelet made me feel better, right? It made me believe that, I was safer, and we appreciated that. So I think you're right that those protocols worked, but they were also efficient. We know how busy market can be, right? We know how busy everybody is getting from one place to the other. So there was certainly no slowdown with that. And speaking of how busy everybody is, I know I'm going to use it again. I know people are jonesing to see new product, to see new things, right? I mean, it's been a while. October, there were certainly some new introductions, but I think what we're hearing at Steelyard from a lot of our brand partners is that there's a lot of new stuff coming in June. People are rolling out, a lot of things they've been holding back a little bit. So Ashley, take us through what you're seeing from a programming perspective too, talking about those things.
Yeah, well, to use your word, I think what people are jonesing for is inspiration. I mean, our industry feeds off of that. And there were a lot of people that couldn't join us last fall, and they're dying to get here to High Point and have a very inspirational experience. And that's really going to be the focus of spring market. You're going to get here, you're going to be able to get in a lot of showrooms, you're going to be able to see the product, you're going to be able to speak to the decision makers and the product makers and all of that. And that's going to be a really wonderful return for so many people. It's going to look a little different on the programming side of things. You're going to have a lot more time in your schedule to get those appointments scheduled within the showrooms and do that, because our programming is not yet going to be returning. You may see a few small events in the showrooms as they can follow the safety guidelines. But overall, you're going to see a really greatly reduced event calendar. But what we've done, it's still available to you. It's just not during the market dates. So if you didn't tune in last week to our Idea Streams first webinar, we encourage you to do that coming up. That's a monthly series that we're doing on Zoom right now. It does offer CEU credits for the people who need it. And we're just tapping into that education and those resources that you usually would see and come to hear from at market. We're just doing it on monthly and the February through July timeframe. So if you go to the website on the events tab, you're going to see that right now. We just announced that Candace Olson is going to be our speaker for March. So that's March 25th, and you can go there. You can tune in, listen live, be a part of that Q&A, or you can tune in later and watch it on demand when that works for your schedule. And then we have a few other that we're going to be announcing all coming up. Just really to make sure that you get not only here to market, seeing that product, but then still getting the education that you need.
Fantastic, right? Because there's certainly always the push-pull at market. You want to be in showrooms, you want to be looking at product, but these events are amazing. The tiny teenies in the Airstream are amazing. There's so many push-pulls, right? I think what you've done here is you've made the best of this, where we can still do the CEU. We can still do the education. Now, right, to prep us for June market, to get us geared up and excited for June market. And then when we're there, we can look at product, right? I mean, I know for 5 days, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be, the whole Steelyard team will be going showroom to showroom, checking out the product from our great brands. And I think what we keep hearing too is how much of a need there is for in-stock items right now, right? I mean, people, the supply chain is stretched and everything else. So being able to walk into showrooms and find out what's in stock, kind of, to bridge the gap on what we're talking about with education too, that's part of the content that you all are talking about. And I know we'll be sharing together in the next couple of weeks a lot of the in-stock items from some of the Steelyard brands to really fit the need for the designer right now, that they can see at High Point Market in person, place their orders, and actually circumvent that problem they're all facing. So I think that's an exciting opportunity. Okay, we can talk about this all day, but we are super excited. June 5th through the 9th in High Point. Registration is open. Safety protocols are in place. We are locked and loaded and ready to go, right? I mean, we're doing this thing.
Absolutely. Get your pass in the mail, as Ashley said, so you don't have to stand in line, and start receiving the emails that you can learn all about what you're going to see in June. And we can't wait to see you here in High Point.
Good. And I heard a rumor that if we do sign up, if buyers sign up right now, there's something free coming their way. Ashley, tell me about that.
I was just about to plug that. Yes, of course. If you get registered, all registered buyers for this market are going to be receiving a free digital copy of Gail Dobie's new book. It's not even out yet. It's coming out in early April. Go ahead and get registered, and we'll send you a free copy of her new book. It is chock full of vital information.
Amazing. Amazing. So we get to come to market. We get to register ahead of time for convenience, and we get a book from the amazing Gail Dobie. I mean, I don't know what else to say, y'all. I'm just going to hang out on the Airstream the rest of the day and dream about June market. You can see my beach behind me there too. So I'm just going to relax in the Airstream. I'm going to register first. I'm going to make sure that right after we hang up, I'm registering, and we're making everybody register ahead of time. We're going to book our travel. We're going to get our free book, and we're going to rock and roll, and we're going to see June 5th through 9th in High Point, North Carolina.
Can't wait to welcome you.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Y'all, thank you so much. We'll see you in June.
Thanks, Michael.